coming over there.
Introducing the team's referees. Second referee,
And
The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Southwest.
It's another steamy summer night here in South Texas. Toyota Field is the host of Week 14 of the USL regular season. Fans are piling into the stands as we get set for San Antonio FC and Sacramento Republic FC on Fox Sports Southwest. And a pleasant good evening, everyone. Welcome upstairs to the broadcast booth along with Lance Key. I'm Dan Weiss. It's great to have you with us. Let's start with San Antonio FC. 2 weeks ago on this field, they captured easily their biggest victory of the season, trailing 1-0 to Portland in the dying minutes of the match. San Antonio FC scores 2 goals in 6 minutes, come out with a huge 3 points. Lance, how'd they get it done?
Well, they're doing a better job of getting balls served into the face of the goal and getting players in and around those areas to be able to convert. We saw Omar Gordon and Alex Bruce there being able to get turned and being able to find the space either side of the goalkeeper to convert.
And you see some of the numbers, and now the benchmark has been set for San Antonio FC after they set season highs in possession accuracy and corners.
Absolutely. The standard is starting to rise. They're doing a better job of keeping possession of the ball. They're being productive in the final third, starting to get more entry services into the face of goal, as I mentioned, and getting numbers in and around those areas to be able to convert those into good quality scoring opportunities.
This will be a test for San Antonio FC. Sacramento Republic FC is second in the Western Conference. Second matchup of the season between these two squads. Sac Republic won 2-1 on opening night. Anya Rosales will join us down on the field when we return. Starting 11 and the kick as well, coming up on Fox Sports Southwest.
Fine by me.
Thanks. It's like a smart thing. What's the weather?
Sunny. Perfect chicken eating weather.
How'd you get in here?
It's time for chicken.
What's the traffic like?
Rerouting you to chicken.
Okay.
Hey, Calzo, order pizza.
Ordering chicken.
No, pizza.
Chicken.
Okay, chicken it is.
Chicken biscuits made fresh daily for breakfast.
Now that's smart.
Corner stores are proudly becoming Circle K, home of the Polar Pop Cup. That's right, you can enjoy any size Polar Pop Cup filled to the brim with your favorite flavor for just 79 cents at any corner store. Nothing stays cold longer, and the Polar Pop Cup is the best way to quench your thirst. Stay refreshed all day long for just 79 cents. Corner store, proudly becoming Circle K.
I've been an HEB truck driver for over 40 years and driven more than 3 million miles. I've seen a lot of wide open spaces and beautiful Texas places. It's the best job ever. All 700 of our friendly truck drivers are committed to getting fresh products to the store every single day. In fact, HEB drivers make more than 12,000 deliveries every week because Texas families need us, so we always deliver. This is the Delivered Fresh department at HEB. No store does more than my HEB.
When it needs to be ultra exciting, high flying, non-stop action, San Antonio FC Soccer's got you covered. When it needs to be high performing, hard working, high tech, super safe, built for comfort, and surprisingly affordable, Holt Cat has got you covered. With best-in-class Cat heavy equipment, engines, generators, and more, plus legendary service and support, and the largest parts inventory and distribution network in Texas. Kick it into high gear with Holt Cat.
Welcome back to Toyota Field as we get set for kickoff. San Antonio FC and Sacramento Republic FC here on Fox Sports Southwest. We look at our starting 11s tonight for both sides, beginning with the visiting Sacramento Republic. Cameron Iwasa in his second go-around with the Quails leads the team 5 goals on the season, 20 goals in his Sacramento career. And for San Antonio FC tonight, a look at their starting 11 features a very interesting name up top. Young Ethan Bryant, a product of the San Antonio FC Academy, makes his first ever start in USL play. Methodist Healthcare has our injury report for tonight's match, and for San Antonio FC, they'll be without Ever Guzman and Rafa Castillo, both dealing with lower body injuries. Stephen McCarthy will miss tonight's match with an upper body injury. And with more on Ethan Bryant and the historic appearance, let's send it down to the third member of our team on the field. It's Anya Rosales.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, that's right. The 16-year-old midfielder for SAFC, Ethan Bryant. I talked to Coach about starting him today, and he said, look, he played 120 minutes in the third round of the Open Cup, and he did a great job. He forced a penalty kick with his touch, forcing a handball in the box for the opponent. And then they went on to win in penalty kicks, and coach said, look, the kid just trains hard, he performs, he's a great teammate, he deserves this opportunity. I asked what the other players thought about his success and his opportunities, and coach said, look, they just treat him like a little brother. That's the best way to put it. And you can see it with the way these guys cheer for him, the way coach gives them opportunities, and they all want the best for the young 16-year-old Ethan Bryant. Back up to you, Dan.
Thanks, Anya. And Lance, there's something to be said about what Nick Evans, Tim Holt, the San Antonio FC Academy has done when tonight marks the night that one of their products makes an appearance in the starting 11 USL play.
Yeah, as time goes on, you continue to just see more and more feathers in the cap of SAFC and their developmental system. As you mentioned, Nick Evans and the job that he's done with his staff, with the youth players, all the way through up to the first team, and this is a great example here tonight for Ethan Bryant.
San Antonio FC, Sacramento Republic FC kicking off for the second time this season. These teams met on March 17th in Northern California. Republic FC winning it 2-1. Along with Anya Rosales and Lance Key and our entire crew, I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks so much for joining us this evening as we cap off what has been a very, very long day of soccer on our Fox family of networks. And if you have been up since 5 a.m. and you're still with us, a special thanks to you for joining us. San Antonio FC already on the defensive end here early, and a very early free kick awarded to Sacramento Republic on the edge of the box.
You're going to see Bijev. He did this the first time in opening night for SAFC against Sacramento out in Sacramento, just giving that outside defense on the right-hand side for SAFC a lot to deal with. There he is working himself into the box and drawing an early free kick right there on the end line for Sacramento.
Viljan Bijev was Portland's leading goal scorer in each of the past 2 seasons. 8 goals a year ago, 10 goals 2 seasons ago. He's got 2 with Republic and draws him again. A very dangerous early free kick here in the opening minute of the match. Whipped in low and defended away by San Antonio FC and chased down by Shannon Gomez. Sacramento Republic FC from a year ago, where they took the final spot in the Western Conference table to advance to the USL playoffs, and then pulled off a stunning upset of Real Monarchs SLC, winning in penalty kicks in round 1 before falling in the conference semifinals 1-0 to Swope Park Rangers. Under the guidance of new head coach Simon Elliott, returned 6 players from that team a year ago. San Antonio FC on the ball here for the first time tonight in their home black kits trimmed in red and white. Republic in their traditional away white kits trimmed in gray, red, and black. And this is Sacramento's second all-time visit to San Antonio, 5th all-time meeting between these two clubs. 1 win aside for each and 2 draws in the previous 4 matches. There's Bijev again back into the box. A strike on Restrepo makes the save, and the first corner of the match belongs to Republic.
He just picked up right where he left off, as I mentioned in opening night. That's 3 times in a row there. You're going to see Bijev on the left-hand side really just finding himself space. He doesn't mind having a go. He's got a nice left foot. He can serve. He can finish. Very, very dangerous in possession.
Whipped into the near post. San Antonio FC will head it out. Taken by Elliot Horde. He'll play deep to the back post. Brought down by Bijev, but his strike goes wide. Was it deflected by San Antonio? It was not. Viljan Bijev has had 3 very good touches here in the first couple of minutes. Bijev came on as a substitute earlier this week, played 27 minutes in their 1-0 victory over Fresno. As Republic's really on a nice run of form here, 3-1-1, Lance, over their last 5 matches, an overall record of 8-3-4. If they win or draw tonight, it'll be their best start in franchise history.
Yeah, they've been very good thus far, the first third of the season. Good quality players. Simon Elliott, as you mentioned early, as the game started, has done a great job with this side, transitioning them into this season, getting them organized, creating some confidence, and we've seen that. Getting 8 wins in in the first 15 matches here this season, only losing 4 times. Definitely a side that's playing with confidence, whether they're at home or on the road. Good quality players. They like to have the ball, and they don't mind running at you.
They will attack, as Darren Powell said. They have a method of attack on the left side and on the right side, and he said that is what San Antonio FC has to be cognizant of tonight, because on Bijev on the left side, you've got Wilson Nishaw on the right side. So it certainly will be a challenge for San Antonio, who is without Darnell King tonight, suspended one match because of card accumulation. And so Cyprian Hedrick draws into the starting 11 for San Antonio FC for the first time since October 11th of last season. It's also his first USL match this season for San Antonio. And San Antonio is awarded their first corner of the match. They had 14 of them, a season high last week or 2 weeks ago against Timbers 2.
Omar Gordon, typically the one out to take it. There again, lots of changes in tonight's lineup compared to what we've seen over the last couple of weeks. Some injuries and personnel changes. As you mentioned, Ethan Bryant there at the top of the show, getting his first start tonight. In early stages of this game, a good opportunity here to see where they are mentally.
5 in the box for San Antonio FC is right-footed Omar Gordon. Swings this one very deep to the back post. Hedrick underneath it, volleys into the air, headed wide. Cesar Elizondo getting the last go at it, but sent it wide of Josh Cohen.
And really overhit that one, did Omar Gordon, something we haven't been used to seeing. Cyprian Hedrick did a good job of keeping the ball on the weak side. And then here Elizondo, I don't think he just didn't realize how much space he had. Didn't think he had enough time to be able to bring that ball down, which in the end he probably did.
Cesar Elizondo is back in the starting 11 tonight, just his third start of the season. Elizondo's 8 goals for San Antonio FC in 39 career appearances. That puts him tied with Omar Gordon for second all-time in club history. Gordon, of course, has been on a tear. He's got 3 goals in his last 3 USL matches, 4 goals in his last 5, and he was sensational, Lance, in the game against T2 2 weeks ago here.
Yeah, you know, one of the things Omar Gordon does, he's so diligent in his work rate, and his work capacity is very, very high, and he just continues to go and go and go. I saw Coach Powell downstairs after that match and just said, you know, what a great job he did in terms of just continuing to work and persist throughout that match. And he said, you know, he does that every single day. So that's what they come to expect from him. But it's because of that work rate that he's being able to generate some of these chances in and around the face of goal, and he's converting, and he's really starting to play with confidence, which is something, as we've been talking about, SAFC needs somebody in the final third that's playing with confidence.
You talked about lineup changes as well. In addition, for San Antonio FC, beyond Cesar Elizondo getting back in the starting 11, Connor Presley makes his 4th start, first since April 27th in Las Vegas. And Maxi Rodriguez will make his first start in USL play this season. He started against FC Dallas in San Antonio FC's last match a week ago Wednesday in the Open Cup. Did well playing in that holding midfield role, and he's on in place of Pekka tonight, who's not injured, but he's also not in the 18 either.
Yeah, and Pekka, for SAFC fans, he's just one of those players you're just used to seeing parked there in the middle of the park. And it will be interesting to not have him in tonight and see what they miss with his not being a part of the 18.
The flag goes up here on the outside on Cameron Iwasa. And San Antonio FC will get themselves possession back. And just, you know, going back to Pekka, you know, he made 24 starts a year ago. He started all 12 matches for San Antonio FC. He doesn't miss a lot of time, and of his 37 career appearances with San Antonio, 34 of them have been starts, so that certainly will be something to watch tonight as the midfield shapes up. And without Pekka as well, no Ryan Rishandle too. San Antonio FC has Greg Cochran wearing the armband tonight.
Rishandle, another one of those players. We talk about the consistency of Omar Gordon's work rate. Pekka, the consistency of his quality night in and night out. Ryan Rishandle, his consistency certainly over the past couple of seasons. He's been really important to this team, wearing the armband through the first third of the season here. So when you start to miss players like that, you have to place some question marks on the beginning of a match and see where they're going to settle in at. So far, SAFC really haven't been able to settle. So we'll see. It will be dependent upon, I think these next few minutes is going to determine how the rest of this half goes. They've really got to get hold of things, start to build and keep possession, and try to be productive going forward, but then also not giving up those spaces defensively, something they've tended to do in that transition thus far this season.
Jeremy Hall heads over to take the second Sacramento Republic corner of the match. Hall is their captain, their veteran that's in the 11 tonight. 10th-year player, 29 years of age, 127 MLS matches to his credit. Sends a very deep ball that's eventually won away by Cesar Elizondo. Will go back upfield here for San Antonio. With a good lead on the run for Jose Escalante. A nice job by the defensive Hall getting back. Jeremy Hall making his 65th appearance with Sacramento Republic. Cameron Awasa tonight making his 76th appearance with Republic. So there's some very good familiarity. Even if it's Simon Elliott's first season, he's got some bodies that have been with this club for a while and certainly have kind of built a very good legacy in Northern California for what Sacramento Republic has done since their inception back in 2015.
Talk about the confidence that Sacramento Republic have starting out the game with 3 up top and really pressing the numbers in that high line against SAFC, who are really playing a 3-back system. They're having to draw Escalante and Gordon back into those corners to get some assistance because Sacramento aren't budging on that 3 up front. They're not tucking those players back to come back and get possession. They're really continuing to leave them up there, which will create a little bit of a chess match, a little bit of a tactical adjustment, if you will, from both sides really as the game goes on to see who's going to maintain that shape.
And these are two very good possession teams, both coming in 52% tonight on possession. Both will build up from the back. And again, you mentioned San Antonio FC's 3-back formation. It's the 3rd straight match that they go with this formation. I think it caught Portland a little bit off guard 2 weeks ago because of the dominance for San Antonio FC. You could see Sacramento has scouted it well here coming into tonight's match.
Absolutely, it's something you would have expected for them to have adjusted and prepared for this 3-back system, which really at times turns into almost a 5-back, which is okay, and that's how SAFC are trying to build their possession out of the back, and they've done a much better job of that here in the last couple of weeks. I really think that this 3-back system has suited SAFC and allowed them to start to play with a little bit more confidence.
It certainly generated a lot of creativity on the offensive end. They had 38 attempted crosses, a season high as well in the match against Portland Timbers too. And talking with Darren Powell, he said, we created more chances in the last 2 matches against Portland and Dallas than in any other match this season. Bijev is run off the ball there, coming back by Cyprian Hedrick. Hedrick, who was a former 2nd-round selection by Sporting Kansas City, and at one time was a basic regular for OKC Energy FC 2 seasons ago, and he's just really struggled to find the field. But talking with Darren Powell as San Antonio FC earns themselves an advantage foul here. Talking with Darren Powell on Cyprian Hedrick, he said, he's done the work in training. He comes to practice every single day. He knows what his role is. He continues to work hard, and that's why we're giving him the opportunity tonight.
And you want that confidence in a player, especially when you're replacing a player like Darnell King, who's done so well in these last few weeks and really started to find himself within the shape and within the system that SAFC are playing. Again, I think that 3-back system has suited him well. And so losing him tonight due to caution accumulation is nice to have a player that as a staff you have confidence coming in who understands their role and responsibility.
Gordon will take the free kick along with Escalante, and it's Escalante with a service in, and Josh Cohen climbed the ladder to get it. You talk to folks in Sacramento, they say Josh Cohen has been their MVP this year. 5 clean sheets and a goals against average below 1. 14 goals allowed in his 15 starts. He has never beaten San Antonio FC, though. Lost both matches against him a year ago playing with Phoenix Rising FC. Trying to spin out there and take possession, but unsuccessful. Yuri Matiasic here in San Antonio FC will reset. Good play forward here by Elizondo, looking in the direction of Connor Presley, but it's Shannon Gomez to come over. Settled well by Escalante. Lobs this one into the 6-yard box, taken easily by Cohen.
Escalante there looking for an early service on a diagonal, just really didn't catch it cleanly to place it correctly on the far side of the post.
Matiasic will give to Elliot Horde. This is Horde's 2nd straight start, and it's his 2nd match of the season. Dealt with an early season injury that kept him out of Sacramento's first 12 matches of the season. He comes very much in the form of a player that they had a year ago in Emra Clementa, who was a nuisance on the right side for defenders of any Sacramento opposition. And so they're happy to have Horde back in the lineup tonight. foul here against Maxi Rodriguez.
You start to see as the shape of the game starts to take form, as the two shapes of either side really kind of come against each other, you're seeing tons and tons of space right through the middle of the park. Something that will be interesting to see who will take advantage of that space. We're going to see Maxi Rodriguez there come through the back. But that central space in terms of keeping and building possession going forward can be so vital. So I'm really interested myself personally to see who's going to best manage that space. Two teams that like to have the ball, that do a good job with the ball, but you can start to see the shape of that central part of the field there open up and create tons and tons of opportunity and passing lanes to be able to build through.
Throw in awarded to Sacramento, and they quickly push forward into the attack. Viljan Bijev up that left flank, attacking on Ryan Felix. Bijev slip it back here out top. Crossed over here, Elliott Horde. Service into the box there, was looking for Bijev, and Edric, as he cleared it away, also is fouled by Bijev, and San Antonio FC with a free kick here. A quarter of the hour through the match with Lance Key, Anya Rosales, our entire crew. I'm Dan Weiss. San Antonio FC beginning the night. They sit tied for 9th in the Western Conference table, 10th in the standings if you look at it, behind Colorado Switchbacks FC, but they've played 3 fewer games than Colorado Springs. They have played fewer games than any of the teams that they're looking up right now in the table, and so even though they're out of the top 8, even at this point in the season, not a lot of concern from Darren Powell because he knows he's got a lot of games in hand. And clearly still, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago, trying to find some identity still with this 11 that's out on the field.
Absolutely, and even from there, so many changes from that match 2 weeks ago to this match tonight in terms of personnel.
These two teams defend very well. San Antonio has only conceded 13 goals. Republic, as we mentioned, has only conceded 14, so I'd anticipate another low-scoring affair tonight between these two clubs. Maxi Rodriguez, he returns it back to Greg Cochran. One player who really shined in that game against FC Dallas in the Open Cup, Lance, was Greg Cochran. I thought he was fantastic from the back end, and did he do a lot of running that night?
He did, and he always covers a lot of ground. You know, there's been times where I've been critical almost of the design of the night, not allowing Greg Cochran to get forward enough because he's so dangerous and dynamic, getting around that left-hand corner and getting service into the box. So I like to see Greg Cochran really get out there and be very dynamic and very involved in both sides of the ball, getting both boxes. He's that type of player and has the ability to do that. In this 3-back system, sometimes he'll get pinned in, though, because of the shape and because of how the system plays out, and not really be able to get those opportunities to go forward. But they were very good, I thought, against FC Dallas, and it was a great build on their league result against Portland Timbers 2 the week of, and really I think puts them in a good position having Sacramento come to town tonight.
Ryan Felix changing the direction of attack, looking in Omar Gordon's area. This is run down by Republic and Josh Cohen. As Hall works it upfield, and Mariasic returning it back. Owasa, nice little back pass here as Mariasic sending it upfield. Nishaw with a run into the corner of the box, attacking on Greg Cochran. Nishaw to the byline, cross back here to the top of the 6, comes out to the top of the area and sent wide of goal, and a great attempt for Jaime Villarreal. First real good attempt for Sacramento Republic FC.
Yeah, Villarreal did a nice job of trailing there, bringing that second layer, sitting right at the edge of the top of the D here. You're going to see as that ball gets played back out, he's in great position to be able to step into it. Elects to side foot it and just pushes it high and outside that right-hand corner. Almost think that if he had stepped into that ball and laced it, he probably would have been in a better position in terms of putting one on frame.
San Antonio FC going quickly with numbers forward, but it's Republic who's back on the ball. Will reset in the midfield. Villarreal will send it out wide. Bijev is cross defended away by Cyprian Hedrick. Villarreal will send it out wide here for Elliott Horde. Turnley with the, or Tainer rather, with the giveaway as San Antonio FC will go the other direction. Getting numbers forward here is Omar Gordon coming up the right side, trying to go 1 against 2, and usually is hard to do, and Sacramento Republic FC will win possession away. And now watch for the counter for Republic here as they get 3 forward along with Bijev. Back out top it comes, and impeded there at the last moment again as he was trying to break free was Cameron Awasa. San Antonio FC will send it back forward.
San Antonio did a really nice job there of getting numbers back underneath the ball. You see Maxi Rodriguez slid across and defended. Escalante was tucked in on the weak side. They really had good numbers in that transition. Did a great job of managing that situation. And you see the 4-3-3 of Sacramento versus sort of the 3-4-3 of SAFC. What that numerical advantage in the middle of the park is forcing SAFC to do is really to have to drop all 3 of their forwards almost into midfield to try to manage those spaces. I talked about the middle of midfield opening up so much. They're having to drop all the way in. So now when they win possession, they don't really have that forward target to be able to play to and stretch the game.
Bijev, plenty of space forward, and ball just a little bit ahead of Shannon Gomez. Gordon, good touch there on the ball, and then puts it off Justin Schmidt, and San Antonio FC with a throw in here. It's interesting, Lance, as you kind of watch the midfield and you talked about the shape of both sides, and with San Antonio FC right now having to put 4 in the midfield, it's by tactical design. I don't think it's necessarily, as you were pointing out, what Darren Powell was kind of envisioning wanting to do here in terms of, you know, his point of attack for tonight's match.
Yeah, well, they haven't been able to get enough numbers around the ball when they've won it back from their defensive effort to be able to connect quickly. And so as a result of that, you see them playing longer, more diagonal balls into spaces that really aren't connecting. So they haven't been able to really build their possession through the middle third of the field. And it has a lot to do with, I think, with Sacramento's ability to keep the ball and forcing them to have to drop into midfield and get so many players out of shape for San Antonio that the transition back into shape is becoming very difficult.
Rodriguez, as he switches the play across here, Cochran.
Really a dangerous ball there from Maxi Rodriguez to play 60 yards laterally across the face of midfield. A little bit fortunate there to not have lost possession and played right into a counterattack.
Mitchell Tainer, product of the Toronto FC Academy.
And you can see the confusion now for San Antonio between Escalante, Elizondo, Ethan Bryant, trying to figure out who's going to cover what space, who's going to slip underneath in midfield, and who's going to stay high. Trying to work through some of these decisions early on, and haven't been able to sort it out just yet. Credit to Sacramento for doing a good job, as I said, of keeping the ball. They're able to stretch from left to right. There you see Bijev really just staying out on that left-hand side. He's always that target, and he's a favorite target. They like to play into that space.
Gomez makes the run here as he gets it around Presley. Cross into the top of the 6. Defended away again. Cyprian Hedrick has had a nice first half here for San Antonio FC. Villarreal, he spins away. Little back pass on the strike as it was deflected. It'll be settled by Diego Restrepo. Getting the attempt off was Cameron Awasa. Special thanks to Circle K for presenting tonight's matchup. Visit your nearest Circle K and enter for a chance to win a new car every month, gas for a year every week, and $1,000 cash every week. All thanks to our friends at Circle K. San Antonio FC getting some numbers forward here, which is been a bit of a challenge for them in the first half. Escalante puts it into the box. Settled back by Omar Gordon outside the area. Gordon defended by 2. Works it over to Ethan Bryant. Bryant to the corner of the box, trying to cross one through. Those defended away. And Bijev coming back on the ball. Send it off Mikey Lopez, and a throw in here for Sacramento in the 24th minute.
That's really the first time that Bijev and Nishaw have had to come back into their own defensive third of the field. As you talked about, SAFC getting some numbers in the box really for the first time of any significance in the match so far. Possession really, really heavily in favor of Sacramento at this point in time, and forcing SAFC to have to play most of the game defending and unfortunately chasing the ball a lot, just trying to regain possession and be able to build something out of it.
Seems like forever when these two teams last met in Sacramento, going back to the middle of March. And I mean, in fact, it really has been 3 months nearly to the day. The Republic got 2 goals, one right before half from Kevin Aleman, and then in what has been San Antonio FC's most troublesome area of the match, the opening minutes of the second half, on a goal by Christian Isley in the 48th minute, before Mikey Lopez got San Antonio FC their first goal of the season, but eventually fell that night 2-1. Overall, 4 goals in USL play that have been conceded by San Antonio FC in the first 15 minutes of the second half. Does not include the goal they gave up in the second half against FC Dallas a week ago Wednesday. That was 12 seconds into the second half as Nishaw turn it back. Villarreal. Mariasic will spin out there from the challenge of Rodriguez over to Shannon Gomez. Nice challenge there by Rodriguez, but he's whistled for the foul by center referee Rosendo Mendoza.
Mariasic, a talented player there in the middle of the park. Good with the ball at his feet. He does a good job of just getting his body positioning inside of Maxi Rodriguez and leaving the only pathway to the ball to be through him. And won the free kick there.
Wilson Nishaw out wide. Crossed through and defended away by Felix. Wilson Nishaw, 9 goals in his 46 games in Sacramento. All 9 of them coming in USL play. Felix ahead there of Owasa. And the flag goes up here. San Antonio FC with a free kick.
SAFC not having the easiest of times managing and playing out of this 3-back system today. It'll be interesting as the game goes on. There you see Darren Powell was up giving instructions to his side. It'll be interesting to see as the game plays out how they manage and adjust. Because obviously, as you mentioned earlier, Sacramento have done a good job of assessing the situation and preparing for that. So they've come out with a plan to counter that 3-back system that SAFC have been building their confidence through, and it's given SAFC some problems.
I think you made a great point earlier, just talking about how little time San Antonio FC has had once they have the ball to get forward. Credit Sacramento Republic, who's done an excellent job defending here in the first 26 minutes tonight.
And quite honestly, their best defensive effort has been their ability to keep the ball in the attack, and we see that again here as they get down the left-hand side.
It's Gomez into the box. Gomez! Did he draw the penalty? No. There was contact, and they're going to give Gomez the yellow here for embellishment. Shannon Gomez into the books in the 28th minute.
Shannon Gomez having some success getting down that left-hand side. Yeah, there wasn't anything to that. Referee not having it. However, in that situation, Cyprian Hedrick was not in great position. He had really overcommitted himself to the ground and went down far too early. And fortunate, really, that Gomez didn't create something more dangerous out of it. But he's been really dangerous just in terms of his presence getting down that left-hand side. So when Bijev is tucked really out, all the way out wide on that touchline, they're looking to play into his feet, but he'll drift inside, and you'll see that. And Gomez is doing a good job of recognizing that and getting up that wing, and it's creating some challenges again for SAFC having to shift across because they're only playing that 3 across the back, and they've got to get players all the way out there.
And I think, to your point, I think they're going to have to make an adjustment as this match goes along. They might have to bring those wide guys back a little bit to defend 4 back there, because Sacramento Republic has had a lot of success on the outside early. Maxi Rodriguez feeling pressure, will spin out back to Sip Hedrick.
And one of the biggest things that SAFC are going to have to do is stop the diagonal service out to that touchline, because that's one thing. They're just changing the point of the attack, and it's forcing them to have to go touchline to touchline, which is very difficult to do over and over and over again.
They've done a real nice job of switching the play here tonight for sure. Escalante will learn to throw in for San Antonio FC. It was Escalante's hustle and stoppage time that set up the game winner for Alex Bruce. 3 minutes in extra time. San Antonio FC earning a 2-1 victory over Portland Timbers 2 Saturdays ago. It was arguably the win of the season for San Antonio FC, and it's that momentum that hopefully gets them moving up the table and into not only a top 8 position, but potentially into a top 4. San Antonio FC spent the duration of the season last year.
And to be fair, I don't think they're far off of it. They haven't had a fantastic start. If we look at last season as a comparison, which we've made a couple of times, perhaps a little bit unfair to do, but that's what we do. But they haven't had that same kind of start. And so you look at a game like Portland Timbers 2, and you talk about the importance and significance of that result. And I think that there was a lot of significance to the result against FC Dallas as well. Although it wasn't FC Dallas's starting 11 that had been customary at that point in the season, it's one of the top teams in the first division in this country right now, and so I think it was a great result. It built some confidence for them.
Great play out wide. Bijev better defended, however, by Hedrick, who mistimed the jump there, trying to head the service across. It eventually got to Bijev, but he stops Bijev's attack there on the left side. And it's Omar Gordon he's had some trouble trying to create a little space here. They'll make the run onside. Edge of the box here, defended by Gomez. Splits back to the inside. Gordon with a strike on the pitch and a save by Josh Cohen.
Omar Gordon getting himself out there on the right side of the 18-yard box. And as he got there in possession, there was no one to play the ball into. There was one player running into the box, but he was covered. And so at that point in time, he made the decision, he committed himself. He's going to cut it inside, put it on his left foot that he finished with last week, and try to push it past the keeper. It just wasn't able to do it there.
Nisha upfield quickly, Elliott Horde. Hall joining the play, out wide. Villarreal and Bijev again. Bijev around Presley. Service off the side of the net.
And you got to be careful with Bijev. He doesn't mind having a go, even from tight angles. He's very good with the ball. He's a good striker of the ball, and I think he's trying to catch him off his line there. And Restrepo was a little bit fortunate that he just missed it wide to the near post because he had the space.
Cochran, as he weaves his way around Wilson Nishaw. Changes the play there, looking for Escalante. Just a little off on his timing of the run there.
And you see Cochran there as he came inside. He was just searching for an option. He was searching for something that he felt like should have been better than what it was. And again, to the credit of Sacramento, they're just not giving San Antonio many options in possession.
Have you been surprised, though, how almost seamlessly Sacramento has been able to dictate the middle of the field and play it out wide with, I don't want to say not so much as little resistance, but it's felt like that at times for San Antonio?
Well, again, you've got to think in the middle of the park, you really have a 3 versus 2 in favor of Sacramento because they're playing more or less a 3 central midfield setup versus a 2 central midfield setup for San Antonio. And San Antonio have their 2 wide players in Omar Gordon and Jose Escalante that really have become wing backs, almost those 4th and 5th defenders. And so that's creating a lot of space in the middle part of the field, the middle third of the field for Sacramento to be able to play. And that's what's dictating the rhythm of the game right now.
Horde whips it into the back post, brought down, punched away by Restrepo. Matiasic trying to get Republic on the board.
Still, ball into Elizondo, not happy with the options he's got underneath him. Again, tons and tons of Sacramento. It almost seems like Sacramento's playing with 12 and 13 players when San Antonio get the ball because they don't have clear passing lanes.
Matiasic spins away from Mikey Lopez, turns back forward, and a giveaway there. That was a rare miscue by the Republic attack here in the first half. Gordon with the ball back to Connor Presley. Presley, battle the ball, and San Antonio FC again conceding possession, just struggling to get numbers forward. Here's Nishaw, give it a go from 30, and it's wide of frame.
You're okay with that. If you're San Antonio and you see Wilson Nishaw get that ball and look up and he wants to hit from 30, 35 yards, you're going to be all right with that.
There's the attempt by Mariasic, and punched away there by the right hand of Diego Restrepo.
Because of the timing of the ball when it came off of Mariasic there, Restrepo, he had committed his weight to his left foot and really got caught there. He really didn't have anything else to do but to push that ball away. He was just trying to stay up on it. It just sort of off-timed him, but he did a nice job of managing it in the end.
Sacramento owns 66 of the possession so far in the first half. Haven't seen a number like that for San Antonio on the opposite side in quite some time. A lot of credit to the game plan of first-year head coach Simon Elliott, who has had a lot of success in his time in Sacramento. Prior to becoming the head coach of Republic, he joined their academy, served as the under 15, under 16, and under 17 head coaches. Really helped develop their youth system, which has now produced 3 players that are playing, or at least eligible for selection, on their 18 any given week. Certainly has got Darren Powell's team, we don't say this very often, back on their heels at home.
They're really just trying to find the game. They're doing everything they can to try to find the game and aren't able to do it.
Gomez, free space into the box. Gomez, errant back pass there. Trying to return to Bijev, and now an opportunity on the counter for San Antonio. Omar Gordon just kept it alive on the touchline as he'll keep it moving to San Antonio. Gets 3 forward on support. Gordon back into the middle of the field. Ethan Bryant turning to the inside. Weaves his way with a little space. Tries a go. That was blocked down. Villarreal getting a piece of it. Connor Presley out wide. Gordon chips it into the area. Elizondo. Escalante sends that one up into Mission City Firm.
We're going to see Gordon just trying to clip the ball there to the back post. Elizondo going up to challenge, and then Escalante just trying to keep it in play. Wasn't able to get over the top of it enough to keep it on frame.
Tainer with a giveaway. Escalante. Got Bryant to his right. Escalante, and a great save by Josh Cohen, flying to the back post.
Really clean and confident there from Cohen. Escalante not able to get himself into the box. Again, something SAFC aren't getting numbers forward. That last counterattack even that Omar Gordon slipped out with, it was 3 versus 7. We're going to see the sure-handed Cohen here. Does a nice job going to his left, not giving up any rebounds. Really a tidy half for Sacramento so far.
Another good run here for Bijev out wide on the left flank. Cutting to the inside around Connor Presley, edge of the box, and it's got to be defended away by Hedrick for another corner for Sacramento. It'll be their 3rd of the match.
Really a tough position there from Cyprian Hedrick. As Bijev played that ball across, he played it between Hedrick and the end line there, and forcing him to go back and try to get a touch to keep going across the face of goal. Ends up being a really dangerous scenario as a defender. The last thing you want that to happen there is for that ball to come off of your head right up into the top corner of the frame.
Mariasic, right foot in swinger, and defended away here by San Antonio. Tainer comes over here for the quick throw in for Republic. Elliott Horde. He's blocked by Escalante, will result in yet another corner. Sacramento. Mariasic will come over from the left corner stick now to the right corner stick. Yuri Mariasic, 26 years of age, joined the club late. His 9th start with Republic. Rides one to the back post. Hedrick able to head that one out.
Hedrick everywhere right now, getting his head on the end of a ball.
Mariasic again to the back post. Dangerous ball in. Edge of the 6, headed high into the air and brought down by Diego Restrepo. Restrepo trying to push the attack quickly. Escalante, though, couldn't settle. Elliott Horde the other direction. The challenge by Escalante. Was it off Horde? It was not.
on Escalante for some work. Always tracking back there along the near side touchline, as you mentioned, did that the other night against Portland. Turned into a goal the other direction.
Gomez errantly lets that one ride out on the far side. You talk about, real clean first half for Sacramento, and a poor throw in there by Connor Presley here gives the ball possession right back to Republic. They've had very few errors at Sacramento. And it's Bijev on the right side this time now. Villarreal out top, play it wide. Cameron Iwasa, haven't mentioned him much in the first half. Iwasa, edge of the box, giveaway there. San Antonio FC trying to return. A great anticipation by Gomez, able to win the ball away from Omar Gordon, and Gomez will get it back, edge of the box, crosses it over, and is again forced to be defended away by San Antonio FC, and yet another corner here for Republic. All over that back line for San Antonio FC here in the late stages of the first half.
And you can see it's taken it out of the San Antonio group collectively. Very, very difficult to chase the ball for 45 minutes, which is, they've chased it for the most part for 40. It's difficult to continue to do that and sustain that, and then when you get it, not be able to keep it.
Mariasic, good ball, deep ball, a little deeper than he wanted to. And Omar Gordon able to run it down here for San Antonio. Hedrick there and back pass to Gordon. Now San Antonio FC will send it forward. It feels though, Lance, as Ethan Bryant tried to turn out of that, they're just trying to kick forward with not much purpose here right now over these last few minutes. Just trying to get it out of their zone, so to speak. Good turn here to the inside, Villarreal. San Antonio FC again concedes yet another corner. That was Iwasa rather again. Top of the box making the turn.
Yeah, Ryan Felix just got too tight to Iwasa there. Tight and flat, and was able to get spun right into the box. A good recovery again from Cyprian Hedrick. Time and time again thus far this half, he's been that player that's had to come in and recover and try to keep the Sacramento attack from that final conversion.
Mariasic to the near post this time. Horde tried to bring it down. Well played there by Escalante. Will earn himself and San Antonio the possession off the foul.
But to your point about playing forward and not being able to connect, part of that is building frustration. Part of that is fatigue of just having chased it for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, trying to win it back, chasing large spaces, because Sacramento have done a good job really of sort of separating that San Antonio group. And so now when they've won the ball back, because they're so stretched out, they don't have players to be able to play and connect with. And so that's why you're seeing so many of these long services forward, because the combination of all of those ingredients is leading to the final result being almost a desperation ball forward, hoping that they can change the part of the field that they're in, get it 60 yards up the field, and get a little bit of a break from having to defend their own 18-yard box.
Well, in that instance, it did earn him a chance to get numbers forward, but an errant ball back pass, Felix forced him back, and then again another turnover here for San Antonio. The challenge on Eshaw, San Antonio with the ball back. Gordon, down he goes, advantage San Antonio. Onside play, Elizondo into the box. Elizondo, 1-0 San Antonio FC as Cesar Elizondo delivers right before halftime.
What an important effort from Cesar Elizondo against the run of play, entirely against the run of play. San Antonio able to get one out of this half. In the closing moments, Elizondo did a great job of just slipping the ball inside that far corner. It was a great ball, flighted over the top, well-timed, great weight on the service. Here we're going to see him just peel the ball just inside that far post. A great little ball from Ethan Bryant, just clipped it up over the top, tons of backspin on it to sit for him. Really easy for him to manage. Did a great job of putting it on frame there, maintaining his composure, and beating Josh Cohen, who's been difficult to beat.
Cesar Elizondo's 9th goal with San Antonio FC, and this is his 40th match. He is one behind all-time leader Rafa Castillo. And Ethan Bryant, with a delivery over the top, will pick up the assist in his first point in his first ever match in USL play.
And this builds on the last few World Cup games. going back a couple of weeks where I said you've got to have the ball. If you don't have the ball, it's difficult to win matches. And then here we find yet another side who really has not had much of the ball, puts themselves in the driver's seat, if you will, in a match going into halftime here where they really have been outclassed on both sides of the ball in every capacity for 44 minutes, and they find themselves up 1-0. Credit to them for staying into it, but they're going to have to make some significant adjustments, I think, here in order to be able to maintain or even build on this lead.
Yuri Mariasic. Escalante gets a deflection. Sacramento with a throw-in. Should be limited added time here at the end of the first half.
This first couple of minutes after you score a goal is a time within the context of a game where sometimes the mental sharpness can really start to wane, especially in the final moments of a half. So SAFC got to really do a good job of staying sharp, staying competent, really connecting and communicating over these next couple of minutes to make sure they don't give away anything silly here late in this half. It could allow Sacramento to go in.
There might be a silliness you're talking about there, a dangerous foul from Mikey Lopez on Shannon Gomez at a dangerous spot. Sacramento goes quickly, but they'll do it again here. 1 minute of added time here at the end of the first half.
Fortunate for San Antonio there. They didn't know anything about that quick free kick. And you see that what they've done here between Vigev and Villarreal there on the left-hand side, building that, creating this now opportunity here on a set piece, they really did with 4 players. San Antonio had 8 players back, and they were able to do that with only 4 and 5 players really committed to the attack. It just has to be better. They've got to understand more clearly what their responsibility is on the defensive side of the ball, who's going to cover, who's going to get out and pressure the ball, and making sure that they're collaborating. Right now they're doing lots of defensive efforts in ones, sometimes twos, but mostly one player going out and defending.
3 over the ball for Republic. It's Justin Schmidt who gives it a go, blocked by the wall. Schmidt puts it back over the top, defended out of play by Elizondo. And Sacramento Republic will have one final corner here, likely before halftime, to try to equalize. 7th corner of the first half for Republic. As Mariasic gets ready to take it. Good in-swing to the top of the 6, headed wide by Bijev, and that should do it for the first half. And it will. Cesar Elizondo in the 43rd minute, where it didn't seem like very much of anything positive was going right for San Antonio in the first half, comes away with a huge opening goal on the feed upfield from Ethan Bryant, and San Antonio FC has the 1-0 lead over Sacramento after 45 minutes. Let's go downstairs. Anya Rosales is downstairs with head coach Darren Powell.
Thanks, Dan. Coach, you went up 1-0 late in the half there. How is that momentum going to help you coming out into the second half?
Yeah, I think, fair play to Sacramento. They came out very strong, very early, and we were obviously a little bit unexpected the way they lined up. So we made a few changes on the fly, and the players just stuck into their task and worked extremely hard, and then we managed to get a goal on the break there, which obviously puts us 1 up, and, most important thing second half is to keep the clean sheet.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Anya. San Antonio FC up 1 at halftime. San Antonio FC soccer on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you.
This bud's for the dream and the people bold enough to pursue it. For those who come from nothing and rise to something. It's for those who take everything this country has to offer and make it their own.
It all started with a vision and a mission to put customers first and treat employees with respect. Now, for more than 40 years, we have grown to serve people, businesses, and lenders all while giving back to the communities where we live and work. For us, business as usual is about making a lasting impression on the lives of our customers, employees, and communities. We invite you to learn more about how we can help you with your story. SWBC.
Providing the fuel to take you there, no matter where there is. Top-tier quality fuels from Valero keep your engine running cleaner, better, and longer.
There's a whole secret society out there that craves life beyond the civilized world. If you know what we're talking about, you're in. Equipped with Toyota Safety Sense Standard, the virtually indestructible new 2018 Tundra and Tacoma.
Right now, qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 60 months, plus a $2,000 special edition bonus on a new 2018 Tundra Crewmax Special Edition. Toyota, let's go places.
We came here with a unique challenge, and that was to solve the problem of producing over 500 games and do so in a cost-effective way for the clubs, in a way that produced high-quality broadcasts and standardize the look and feel of all of those productions. Outside of the live event, the match experience, outside of that, the broadcast is the window into the brand for the club and for the league. And you need to be able to capture that in a compelling way with a quality broadcast.
A large portion of the teams work with our partner Vista on REMI Productions, remote integration. What that means is that the production of the game is actually handled mostly away from site. So the way these games will work is a truck will show up locally at the stadium. There'll be 4 camera operators there, and those signals are sent all the way here to Fort Lauderdale. And here locally at Vista, the game is cut. The game has graphics put on top of it. Replay is done here, and in many cases, the play-by-play is actually done on site here at Vista as well. So after the game is fully produced, we have a signal that goes to our partner ESPN Plus for US distribution. We have a signal that goes to YouTube for international distribution. And then for the teams that have an over-the-air local broadcast regional sports network deal, the signal is sent to their partners as well. So even for the games that aren't done with a REMI production, all games flow through Vista, and all those signals have to get sent out all over the world to reach the fans of USL. Because of those REMI productions, we'll oftentimes have 5 or 6 games going on at one time. Nobody is doing sports REMI productions on this level consistently.
We have built one of the largest REMI production models of any league in the world. And now we're able to deliver anywhere in the world to our partners at ESPN, fully produced matches from all over the country. We couldn't be more thrilled with the progress we've made and some of the innovative things now we're going to be able to start to bring into the broadcast moving forward.
Hi sports fans, I'm Jeff Davis, the San Antonio lawyer that's here for you. Some of you might be watching this game injured after a terrible accident. Did you suffer broken bones or have to have surgery? I want you to know that Davis Law Firm is here for you. And if you call us and you need us, we'll come to you during this game. And then we'll fight for justice and demand the cash settlement you deserve. Call me at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. Now before we go back to the game, don't forget, there's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
Thanks. It's like a smart thing. What's the weather?
Sunny. Perfect chicken eating weather.
How'd you get in here?
It's time for chicken.
What's the traffic like?
Rerouting you to chicken.
Okay.
Hey, Calzo, order pizza.
Ordering chicken.
No, pizza.
Chicken.
Okay, chicken it is.
Chicken biscuits made fresh daily for breakfast.
Now that's smart.
When it needs to be ultra exciting, high flying, non-stop action, San Antonio FC Soccer's got you covered. When it needs to be high performing, hard working, high tech, super safe, built for comfort, and surprisingly affordable, Holt Cat has got you covered. With best-in-class cat heavy equipment, engines, generators, and more, plus legendary service and support, and the largest parts inventory and distribution network in Texas. Kick it into high gear with Holt Cat.
Halftime continues at Toyota Field. 1-0 San Antonio FC with the lead over Sacramento Republic here this evening on Fox Sports Southwest. And again, welcome upstairs to the broadcast booth. A pleasant good evening to you, along with Lance Key. Anya Rosales down on the field. I'm Dan Weiss. Great to have you with us. Lance, that first half, a lot of credit to Sacramento Republic FC. Darren Powell at the half said the same as well. Said Sacramento Republic had a great game plan. But it's San Antonio FC that's up 1 after 45 minutes.
Yeah, listen, Sacramento really dictated the pace of the game all the way through. But it was one moment. Young Ethan Bryant was able to clip a ball in over the back line in transition to Cesar Elizondo, who had a nice, tidy finish to really take the first half away from Sacramento when really they deserved it.
Cesar with his 9th goal in his 40th career match with San Antonio FC. What a moment for the young Ethan Bryant, getting his first assist in his first ever match in USL play. Here's what we were referring to earlier, Lance, and the stats tell the story of what a dominant first half it was for the visitors.
Absolutely. You see almost 70-30 in terms of possession, 7 corners to 1. The passing proficiency from both sides really was almost the same type of numbers. Sacramento doing such a good job of keeping the ball, being purposeful going forward, and San Antonio struggling to connect passes really at all over the course of the first 45 minutes.
Well, now for San Antonio FC, going into the second half, Darren Powell has specifically illustrated coming out of halftime in the first 15 minutes is an area that has been of concern. San Antonio has given up 5 goals in the first 15 minutes of the second half. How do they correct this now going into this second half with the lead?
Well, listen, they have to make some adjustments in this game anyway. What they did the first half, although they got the goal late, was not going to be sufficient to be able to win this game and steal this game. They're going to have to make some adjustments anyway. That being said, with what we've been seeing in terms of their form coming out of the locker room, a lot has to change. They just have to be mentally engaged. They've got to be sharp. Maybe they need to come out a few minutes early from the locker room and really try to reconnect with the environment. But what they've been doing is not going to be good enough tonight if they want to be able to keep this lead.
We'll take a break. We'll take a look at scores around the rest of the USL. When we return, San Antonio FC on top 1-0 over Sacramento Republic FC here at Toyota Field as our halftime continues after this.
This bud's for the dream and the people bold enough to pursue it. For those who come from nothing and rise to something. It's for those who take everything this country has to offer and make it their own.
I've been an HEB truck driver for over 40 years and driven more than 3 million miles. I've seen a lot of wide open spaces and beautiful Texas places. It's the best job ever. All 700 of our friendly truck drivers are committed to getting fresh products to the store every single day. In fact, HEB drivers make more than 12,000 deliveries every week because Texas families need us, so we always deliver. This is the delivered fresh department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
Corner stores are proudly becoming Circle K, home of the Polar Pop Cup. That's right, you can enjoy any size Polar Pop Cup filled to the brim with your favorite flavor for just 79 cents at any corner store. Nothing stays cold longer, and the Polar Pop Cup is the best way to quench your thirst. Stay refreshed all day long for just 79 cents. Corner store, proudly becoming Circle K.
Halftime continues. Let's take a look at scores around the rest of the USL here in this Week 14 as it comes to a conclusion. Some good matches that are of interest to San Antonio fans, including St. Louis trailing at the half 1-0 to Real Monarchs SLC. St. Louis is the team that San Antonio FC is chasing to get into the top 8 right now. OKC Energy and Rio Grande Valley FC all even at 1. Later this evening, Phoenix will host Tulsa, Orange County, and Reno also in action. You'll get Seattle and Las Vegas as the final match of the evening tonight. Second half coming up on the other side. San Antonio FC up 1, trying to take 3 points here over Sacramento Republic this evening.
This bud's for the dream and the people bold enough to pursue it. For those who come from nothing and rise to something. It's for those who take everything this country has to offer and make it their own.
I've been an H-E-B truck driver for over 40 years and driven more than 3 million miles. I've seen a lot of wide open spaces and beautiful Texas places. It's the best job ever. All 700 of our friendly truck drivers are committed to getting fresh products to the store every single day. In fact, H-E-B drivers make more than 12,000 deliveries every week because Texas families need us, so we always deliver. This is the delivered fresh department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
Corner stores are proudly becoming Circle K, home of the Polar Pop Cup. That's right, you can enjoy any size Polar Pop Cup filled to the brim with your favorite flavor for just 79 cents at any corner store. Nothing stays cold longer, and the Polar Pop Cup is the best way to quench your thirst. Stay refreshed all day long for just 79 cents. Corner store, proudly becoming Circle K.
1-0. Let's send it down to the third member of our team, Anya Rosales, down to the field. Anya, talk a little bit about perhaps some of the adjustments San Antonio FC needs to make here in the second half to try to take the 3 points tonight.
Well, the obvious, Dan, I mean, they need an insurance goal, and they took out Omar Gordon to start the second half, but they put in a newly signed forward, Charlie Ward, who we took from the RGV Toros. Obviously, he's a player who's known to attack, known to score goals, so I think the obvious move here is putting him in the middle also, where it's kind of been a struggle for SAFC to keep the ball, especially with those wide players dropping back. But I think just the obvious, getting another goal for insurance here against this talented Sacramento team.
Thanks, Anya. Second half underway. Charlie Ward makes his San Antonio FC debut, signed during the off week for San Antonio FC. Ward, 42 career appearances with RGV Toros over the last 2 years, and was signed to a contract by Houston Dynamo and appeared in one match with Dynamo last season before he was placed on waivers. Hasn't played this year. Lance in the midfield here gives San Antonio and Darren Powell another option now.
Yeah, he certainly does, and you know, you bring in new players to be able to utilize them, and an important time I think here for Charlie Ward to make his debut in the red and black, to be able to come in and make an impact in this match where, as Anya was just saying, they've got to tidy things up there in the middle of the park, and that's exactly where Coach Powell has put him, and the expectations are for him to do exactly that.
Omar Gordon coming up. We did see Omar at the end of Elizondo's goal, down on the pitch a little bit, being addressed by the training staff, and it was kind of in the middle of what eventually became almost a hydration break, and so there wasn't a lot of attention that was paid to it, but perhaps Gordon might have suffered an injury at that point, maybe the reason he is not able to continue here in the second half.
Well, if you go back and were to look at the video, you're going to see it was Omar Gordon's challenge that freed that ball up for Ethan Bryant to be able to clip in behind for Cesar Elizondo to go get on the end of. So it was that work that Omar Gordon put in that ultimately did lead to his injury. We're hoping it's not too serious and that he'll be recovered quickly. But again, something you expect from Omar Gordon, just putting in the work.
Gomez, as Republic plays over the top. Gomez will settle under the ball here. Against Hedrick, cuts to the inside, back to the outside, and defended away by San Antonio for yet another corner here for Republic. Here's what happened with Omar Gordon on what eventually became Cesar Elizondo's goal at the end of the first half.
Yeah, just as Bijev came in there, he came in with his studs high and caught the inside of Omar Gordon's foot, it looked like. But again, it was that challenge that freed the ball up.
To the near post, and that ends up going off the back of Connor Presley. No, it did not. Unless we get a different opinion, we do. From the assistant on the opposite side, or no, we don't. For a moment, they were going to call it back for another corner. Instead, it'll turn to a goal kick for Diego Restrepo.
I think it probably was a corner, but neither of the two officials in that situation saw it and went with the safe one, apparently.
Cochran playing forward. Villarreal turning it back. An errant giveaway there by Tainer, although Schmidt did a nice job stepping up to take possession back. Jasic can't get to it. San Antonio FC and Maxi Rodriguez will reset. And a lot of pressure again coming from Republic. Attacking and hounding the ball here early in the second half. This is off Bijev, and San Antonio FC will earn themselves a throw-in.
San Antonio that last time along their back line, very deliberate about keeping possession, even under pressure, which ironically is something they tried to do almost to their own demise in Sacramento at the beginning of the season. They were so deliberate on keeping the ball and trying to play through pressure in their own back third. Ended up conceding a lot of goals that way early in the season. But you don't mind the effort to try to keep the ball.
Sacramento gets forward. Iwasa cutting into space. Iwasa gives it a go and sends it over goal. Not the best finish from a guy who's pretty proficient with that right foot, particularly in space.
I think that ball just bounced off the Peruvian penalty from earlier today. He arrived about the same spot in the 15th row.
Oh, boy, the World Cup has been a lot of fun here, Lance, in these first 3 days. I mean, you talk about storylines. Cristiano Ronaldo maybe perhaps reclaiming his spot as the top player in the world with his hat trick against Spain. Lionel Messi missing from the spot earlier today. Ethan Bryant sending it into the area for Escalante. It ends up going off of Escalante. It'll turn into a goal kick, but again, you know, it has been a fun World Cup here already through 72 hours, and if it's an indication, we're in store for what should be a very fun month.
Absolutely, and you've got to think, I mean, we haven't seen Brazil play yet. We haven't seen Mexico and Germany play. That should be a great one tomorrow. There really have been some quality matches thus far, very entertaining matches. You mentioned Cristiano and Portugal going toe-to-toe with Spain. And what a performance it was from Cristiano. Is he the best player in the world? You can certainly argue that. Lots of people are trying to make that divide between him and Messi. I think I just try to prefer and appreciate the both of them. They're very different players, both incredibly, incredibly talented.
Well, there was a lot of conversation around Messi at the start of the World Cup, a lot of conversation around Neymar at the start of the World Cup, for good reason. Even a lot of conversation around Mo Salah of Egypt, of course, who's done so well in Liverpool in the Premier League. And it seems like everybody forget about Ronaldo, but they made sure, or he made sure they didn't forget about him yesterday.
Score a hat trick against Spain. in the opener, you'll never be forgotten. It was really, really a special performance.
Opening minutes of the second half, San Antonio FC up 1. And a goal by Cesar Elizondo. Cesar's first goal this season. And this is 8th match for San Antonio FC. Ethan Bryant assisting. Switching the play over the top here now for Escalante out wide on the left flank. Escalante slips it back. Cochran getting forward. Cross into the box. And Josh Cohen comes out to make the save.
Favorite spot there for Greg Cochran. Getting around that left-hand side. Gaining space along the end line and being able to whip a ball in. At that time, the delivery wasn't quite there, but he's certainly dangerous doing that.
And now the run here for Sacramento. San Antonio FC able to get a piece of it. Stays in play here, so Sacramento Republic's got to work it back. Shannon Gomez. Bijev hesitated under the run, will come back for the ball here. Returning to Gomez, a little bit too far ahead of him, and he's unable to run it down.
And you see here the San Antonio defensive organization almost collapsing, continuing to collapse back on itself. And what it's doing is it's creating a lot of congestion in and around the edge of their 18-yard box, but it's also giving Sacramento tons and tons and tons of space to be able to play. And so you've got the balance of dropping underneath the ball and getting organized and getting compact, but then also if you aren't getting any pressure to the ball, even as it comes into your defensive third of the field, that becomes problematic too. So it's certainly something Sacramento are able to do to San Antonio, but San Antonio have got to figure out what they're going to do in terms of pressuring the ball.
Elliott Horde, well played there by Cochran to take it away.
Good piece of 1v1 defending there from Cochran. Out on the left-hand side, really didn't have any cover, but he did a nice job of staying on his feet, keeping good balance, ultimately winning the ball back.
Tactically, have you seen anything different from San Antonio here in this first 8 minutes?
They seem to be a little bit more patient, I think, when they get the ball. There's not that immediate response or reaction, if you will, to try to lump the ball forward. I don't know that their positioning, their shape overall has improved a ton, at least not measurably so, but there does seem to be a conscious effort to try to keep the ball and not just play it forward. Of course, there's really not anything to play it forward to because they're getting so many players underneath.
That's good play there up front there by San Antonio FC to at least push the ball back. And watching Connor Presley has come back a little bit here on this right side to defend Bijev on the outside. We saw that a little bit there at the end of the first half, offering some support for Cyprian Hedrick in the 3-back formation. Looks like that'll continue here in the second half. Nishaw on the outside, turns to the outside here, trying to weave his way, going up against Cochran, drives one wide of the frame of goal.
You know, right as the half started, I looked out here at Presley and I thought to myself, he almost had become a right back. And I don't know that that's by design, that they've decided they're going to come in and play a 4-back and he's going to tuck in there alongside Hedrick. I just don't think they've had enough of the ball to be able to get out for him to get those attacking spaces. So he's almost become that right back in the start of the second half. However, coming out, making sure you don't give up something silly early in the second half, the first few minutes here of the second half, maybe was by design, and so maybe they've been a little bit more conservative in terms of getting players forward and really getting themselves stretched out here in the opening minute.
Mikey Lopez will take the throw in here. San Antonio scoring late in the first half. Not a lot of the ball for the home side in that first half. This will turn back into a throw in here for Republic, but one moment in a counterattack, they were able to time a good run by Elizondo, and then Elizondo executing the finish. San Antonio FC finds themselves up a goal here in the opening minutes of the second half at Toyota Field, a place where they have only lost in league play 6 times in 3 seasons.
Again, Bijev really pressing Connor Presley into that back line and still finding the space out there.
Bijev, nice ball into the area. On the assets, great save, Restrepo. Save of the match for either keeper. Matiasic denied. Fantastic from Restrepo.
Really very good here. Matiasic takes it well, but Restrepo up to it. If he had it back, he'd probably like to just bend it a little bit further out to that far corner just to get it outside of Restrepo's reach, obviously, but Restrepo did a good job of staying up high and staying powerful and was able to extend into that ball and keep it from getting by him. But again, all starts here, a diagonal ball out to Vijev along this left-hand touchline, taking the space in front of him and getting service into the box.
They've done that so well tonight, switching the play, changing the point of attack from center midfield off to, particularly tonight on the left flank. They've done a really good job, Sacramento, in trying to pick apart this back line of San Antonio FC. Matijasic nearly equalized. Lopez concedes possession. Presley trying to win the ball back. It drops back to Lopez. Forward with Rodriguez now here in San Antonio FC, trying to again establish some possession. First touch there for Charlie Ward. It goes past Ryan Felix. Will come back here to Diego Restrepo. The flag up on Elizondo in an offside position.
We talked about this earlier, but Shannon Gomez here on the left back and Vijev, they do a very nice job of really collaborating and combining in and along this left-hand touchline. Gomez does a great job of recognizing, is Vijev holding the touchline and then I can come in underneath him, support him, or is he getting inside and creating that space for me to overlap around that corner? And they both have been dangerous for serving balls into the box here all night long, really, down this left-hand side. Again, something they've designed, they've worked on, and they've been very effective at. And you wonder, is Connor Presley's tucking back along that back line, is that part of the design here in the early stages of the second half to try to prevent those types of things from happening? But obviously they're still happening, even if that's the design.
Bryant able to settle, back to Elizondo. And a spin out of the challenge there of Jeremy Hall, and Elizondo able to do well to earn another throw in and more possession for San Antonio FC.
Last couple of times here, Elizondo's got the ball. How difficult has it been for him to connect to somebody? It's almost impossible for him to find a black shirt to be able to play into, and a very stagnant attacking shape for San Antonio when the ball's going forward into him. There's just not enough movement underneath him to be able to play with.
Ward over to Lopez. Lopez, that was defended by Gomez. Lopez, gonna get possession back. He does inside the box for Presley. This cross blocked out by Gomez. Mikey Lopez able to get it over by the touchline. San Antonio FC here in the attacking third. Charlie Ward whips the ball in, trying to go across the frame of goal. Josh Cohen rises to bring it down.
Really like that ball in from Charlie Ward, peeling away from the goalkeeper. It was dipping and diving into that space for runners to get onto. Just didn't quite clear that defender, but really a nice ball, a nice idea there from Charlie Ward.
Nisha. Sacramento quickly pushing back into the San Antonio FC third of the field. Almost an hour through the match. San Antonio up 1-0 on Sacramento Republic FC. Vijev. The ball here back to Shannon Gomez, to Vijev, edge of the box, and he concedes possession. Didn't take it well on the touch. Back the other way on the counter is Connor Presley as he tries to split through the defense, and he's brought down by Hall, who will go into the books here in the 60th minute.
Yeah, smart professional foul there from Charlie Hall, knowing that Connor Presley was often going to get by him, just to stop it there and prevent it from being any more dangerous than it already was. Smart decision right there at the midfield.
2 yellows tonight, both against Sacramento. And Republic only had 20 yellow cards on the season coming into tonight's match. San Antonio FC 10 more, 30 of them in 2 fewer games. We've seen Shannon Gomez and Jeremy Hall each be issued a caution here tonight. Cochran will return to Cyprian Hedrick. Hedrick on and replaced Darnell King again. 1 game suspension for card accumulation. Missing tonight's match. Lopez trying to keep it alive, had it. And it was Gomez who ended up getting the ball back.
And yet again, you see Connor Presley and Mikey Lopez playing 2 versus 3 there here along the touchline. And then if you flip the script and you look at what Sacramento's able to do, they seem to be playing 3 versus 2 in possession. So they're always seem to be in a numerical superiority, and that's because they're doing a good job of keeping their shape and also keeping possession, so they have players in the right areas to be able to support each other, whether in possession or in defense.
Matijasic. Back to the outside is Elliot Horde. Nisha returns to Horde. Owasa swinging back to the edge of the box. Iwasa lost it ahead of him. I tell you, San Antonio FC has done a nice job on Cameron Iwasa tonight. Their leading goal scorer. He has had really, I think, little impact in this game in terms of the opportunities he's had in what, again, has been a possession battle dominated by Sacramento.
He hasn't had many opportunities. He had the one turn where he turned Felix there on the edge of the D, and then that time where he was able to turn and run at space. A couple of moments, but certainly not a ton for Iwasa tonight. Decent job by San Antonio's back line. And again, Cyprian Hedrick that last time coming in and cleaning things up as a covering defender, something we've seen him do quite a bit tonight. And they needed that presence in the back line tonight with the absence of Darnell King.
Another turnover here by San Antonio. Shannon Gomez, Bijev. Ball forward through by Villarreal, taken away here by Connor Presley. Charlie Ward splits it ahead forward now. Elizondo out wide with the support from Escalante. Give away by Escalante.
That was a better build there from San Antonio, but a lazy ball from Escalante.
Tried to make the recovery and return possession back to San Antonio, but again, Sacramento gets numbers forward. Iwasa, and he turns it over on a good defensive play by Mikey Lopez.
We're seeing better spells here from San Antonio in the second half, finding a little bit more space now in these last couple of minutes than they have up to this point, but still lacking that ball, that successful pass forward to be able to retain possession and try to build through the final third, not just trying to build through the middle third, but actually building in that final third of the field.
Mariasic back pass. Nishaw out wide. Here's Bijev, edge of the box. Bijev with a cross in, blocked out of play by Mikey Lopez. Will turn into the 9th corner of the match this evening for Sacramento Republic FC. Bijev will go quickly over and play short here to Shannon Gomez. Trying to catch San Antonio FC off guard. This is blocked out of play by Ethan Bryant. Jeremy Hall switches the play across. Elliot Horde over there on that far flank. Gomez. Bijev out by the touchline. Bijev driving in there. Mariasic looking for some area that he can open up. Gomez, as he makes the turn to the inside here around Connor Presley, gives it back Bijev. Bijev splits back in. Bijev with a cross blocked by Hedrick. Mikey Lopez will clear away.
Again, so much space. Sacramento being able to get both Gomez and Horde forward. Jeremy Hall having tons of space to be able to build in his attacking half of the field. You're seeing San Antonio FC almost collapsing on top of themselves along the edge of the 18-yard box and just conceding that space in front of them. But they've got to be careful. There's not enough dimension there defensively.
And because Gomez had done so much running, they gave Tainer a try there. The overlapping run on the left side that time, but it ended up going off Tainer on the service in that was blocked out. And it's San Antonio FC will take the throw in here in the 65th minute. Sign up to play like the pros, presented by Toyota. You'll be entered to win a chance to participate in Toyota Field Day. San Antonio FC players and coaches. Visit ToyotaFieldDay.com to enter today. Elliot Horde again out wide. Sacramento FC once again to the attacking third of the field. 65th minute, crossing into the 66th minute now.
A little better dimension there from SAFC. 2 lines of 4 as opposed to 1 line of 8.
Bijev going in here. Lopez defending. Bijev putting one through off of Ryan Felix. Hedrick clearing it out. Gomez with it back, taking it away from Connor Presley. Gomez with a drive back into the box, and Lopez defended by Bryant. Gomez with it back. Bijev knocked away from him. Will come back out top to Jeremy Hall. Again to Bijev on the outside is Gomez. Whips the ball through and in. San Antonio with the defense. It's back to Bijev. Bijev with a go. Blocked again by San Antonio. They'll concede the corner here.
There you see Restrepo getting on his players. You've got to get pressure, stop the service. They're playing around in a little 1- and 2-touch rhythm, our Sacramento. And San Antonio are just chasing. They're just chasing spaces instead of organizing those spaces.
Mariasic, deep ball, defended away by Cesar Elizondo. Mitchell Tainer will get back outside to it. Tainer whips the ball in through. Felix gets underneath it, settled here by Bijev, turned right into Connor Presley. Mariasic coming back with it. Mariasic tries to strike block, leaves it to Bijev. Bijev puts it in front, deflected over goal by Greg Cochran. And another corner coming up here.
Sacramento absolutely having their way at the minute. And it's amazing the spaces that they're finding in front of them, between them and the goal, to be able to attack through within their own 18-yard box.
Schmidt gets forward here with Tainer, 4 in the box here for Republic. This corner service from Mariasic. Short play to the near post, defended back out top. Misha defends it over to the left side here. It's Tainer with a strike of the pitch. That doesn't get through. Cesar Elizondo will take it, will return to Mikey Lopez. Lopez turns the ball over. Bijev turns back and inside out of Lopez. Back into the area. Bijev still on the attack. Tried to do too much with that one and ended up giving it up to Diego Restrepo.
San Antonio a couple of times there had the opportunity to be able to play the ball forward, but to who was the question? There's nobody there because they've become so pressed into their own defensive 18-yard box, they just can't even get out of it.
I wouldn't take Bijev out, Lance, but he's done so much here. He's got to be exhausted, the attack he's done at the third of the field so far here tonight.
Well, the first half really was kind of had a nice rhythm throughout the course of the field of play and throughout the course of the time. But this second half has been really, especially these last 10 minutes, has been played here in this tiny little bit of real estate here on the edge of the 18-yard box. And Bijev and Gomez have been such a big part of it. Bijev almost can't get rid of the ball. It keeps coming back to him, and he's very crafty. He's done a nice job of keeping it and forcing San Antonio defenders down to ground and being able to play around them, but he just can't get that nice look that he's looking for.
2 subs in for Sacramento here in the 68th minute. You'll get the veteran Adam Moffitt, 32-year-old, will come in for Jaime Villarreal, and Luis Espino will come in as well, taking out Wilson Nishaw. There's a deflection there that's off the back foot of Cameron Iwasa, wide of frame, and it'll result in a goal kick for San Antonio FC. So Espino, who scored their goal earlier this week against Fresno, and again Adam Moffitt, also a lot of experience in MLS play from Moffitt, 136 games. Makes his 28th appearance as Moffitt with Sacramento Republic.
That's the first time out of the defensive half for San Antonio in several minutes anyway. We talked earlier just about the fatigue to chase the game and have to exert so much effort and energy, whereas Sacramento seemed to be playing at such a comfortable rhythm, a comfortable pace. And as the game goes on, you begin to wonder how that physical wear and tear materializes on the field.
San Antonio has defended even more here in the second half, and they've just, again, had little to break forward on any counterattack so far, and their forwards have had to defend as well, so taking a toll on them. And again, it's Bijev in space in the box. Bijev cuts back with a strike that's blocked, settles back to Bijev. They have continued to overload to the left side here. Here's a chance, deflected save by Restrepo again.
Another big save from Restrepo. Cyprian Hedrick has just absolutely exerted all he can tonight.
That was Iwasa on the last opportunity to get one past the keeper, and denied again by the right hand of Diego Restrepo.
I'm not sure Cyprian Hedrick has anything left in his tank. He's worked very, very hard tonight. He's had to work very hard, but he's been up to it. There you see him go down and just can't get off the ground.
Moffitt off of Iwasa. What a save by Restrepo. Even Diego trying to catch his breath there.
Yeah, Wassa was really a nice position there on the edge of the 6-yard box, and just a quick redirection and a great response from Restrepo. Get that right hand up and push it.
2 weeks ago, the Corners were 14-1 San Antonio FC over Portland. Tonight, they are 12-1 now, this being the 12th coming up here for Sacramento. San Antonio FC Soccer here on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Toyota. Go to buyatoyota.com or visit your local Toyota dealer today. And Lance, while we have a moment, the USL, if you missed it earlier this spring, made a pretty significant announcement. Of course, the USL recognized as the main Division II league in the American hierarchy of soccer, but they have now introduced the Division III version of the USL, which will begin play in 2019. They've already launched markets in Statesboro, Georgia, Greenville, South Carolina, Tucson, Arizona, and most recently Madison, Wisconsin, and just continues to add not only to the impressive job that the USL has done, but also, again, continuing to develop the structure and the hierarchy of soccer here in the United States.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I don't know if we're going to have a ton of time to talk about it here, but we might have to come back to it.
Here as Sacramento takes the corner quickly. Bijev. Well challenged there by Ethan Bryan. He's got plenty of daylight ahead of him. Bryan to the attack. Boy, he is caught quickly there, coming back by Shannon Gomez, who just flew up the field. Rare moment on the counter for San Antonio FC. Rodriguez, though, did not hear the footsteps of Bijev coming from back. Bijev was able to take it away. Jeremy Hall, collision, advantage foul here for Sacramento.
We talked about USL and what they're doing in terms of creating a developmental structure within the professional side of the game in this country, and something I think we really need, and the country, the players that make up the youth players and the ambition that this country has really for the highest level of soccer, not only here but across the globe. It needs more of that. So I think it's very commendable. Oh dear.
Bijev in a dangerous spot, blocked by Cyprian Hedrick. Shannon Gomez still in possession, chips it across. Owasa the header again, another big-time save on Diego Restrepo. And Espino there in the mix as well, too. Owasa serving it back in, defended out by Cochran in a corner. Coming up as Espino goes over to take it. And if Hedrick didn't have much left in the tank a moment ago, this might be it for him here as Ryan Rashandle's getting ready to come in, but he's right now coming in, it looks like, for Cesar Elizondo.
Cyprian Hedrick just trying to catch a break. That I don't think would be considered catching a break.
Right in the chest. The ball delivered from Bijev.
Just more of the same, really, as the second half continues to unfold from Sacramento. Just forcing the issue, forcing the issue, forcing the issue, having tons and tons of the ball, having all the real estate they want, except for that real estate right in front of the face of goal. Having a couple of decent looks, but Restrepo really being up to everything they've put forward today. Maintaining the clean sheet here through 75 minutes.
Elizondo's out. He's got the lone goal tonight. Ryan Rashandle's in the 75th minute. Elizondo's goal in the 43rd minute, his first of the season, his 9th in San Antonio FC, black and red. Tonight, Cesar's 40th match, second all-time in goals for San Antonio FC. Another corner here coming up from Adiasic from the right stick. Felix heads it high into the air, coming down with it. Tainer ends up back to Owasa, gives it a go, but wide.
Cyprian Hedrick again between the Sacramento attack and the face of SAFC's goal with that initial deflection. You know, in the midst of the World Cup right now and having the U.S. not be involved, and anyone that's watched any of the World Cup games is tired of the Volkswagen ads talking about, if you're a U.S. fan, we're sorry, but come and support our country. It's things like the USL expanding themselves and really the partnership with Major League Soccer and really an overall collective commitment to reorganizing, restructuring, improving what's available to these domestic players that are coming through the ranks, and then you get the news of the World Cup being here in 8 years' time. Those are things that United States soccer, certainly on the men's side, really, really needs. And so I'm happy to see USL's continued effort to bring that about.
Republic on the attack once again. Turning here once again for Bijev. Out wide, Bijev delivers back into the box. Hedrick again.
I guess I shouldn't be expecting any kind of Volkswagen endorsements after that, but had to be said.
Tainer. Continue to switch the play to the left side. Bijev whips it in. Restrepo able to come out high and collect this one. Adam Moffett was trying to make the run and get underneath it. And the last substitute for Sacramento Republic, Christian Isley, who scored at what proved to be the game winner against San Antonio back at Sacramento on opening night, is getting set to enter the match.
Bijev here on this left-hand side again, going to be on the receiving end of this diagonal ball out to the left-sided touchline.
Bijev, they collapse 3 on him and still manages to force it through. Here's a strike on goal and a big save again by Restrepo. Matiasic yet again.
It's nothing new here, him coming inside. He did that against San Antonio the first time they saw each other at the beginning of the season. So dangerous with the ball at his feet. A clear and obvious choice. They're trying to play through him to go forward, and San Antonio still can't seem to stop that plan. They still can't seem to put a stop to that diagonal service. They can't get out and close him down quick enough, and he's really turning them inside out.
Now here's a rare play to the right side for Elliot Ord. Cochran gonna let it ride out. Now able to push it forward. It turns into another turnover ball back into the box. San Antonio FC able to step up and win possession away. Oh, and a nice job there by Escalante. Strips his man of the ball, coming back forward. Escalante support with Bryant. Escalante's just gonna put it on frame here. Josh Cohen will push it forward quickly. It's the first time in the second half we've mentioned Josh Cohen.
And maybe the first time we should mention Maxi Rodriguez. That was Maxi Rodriguez that last time, not Escalante. But he did a great job of dispossessing, and I think he just ran out of energy trying to get down to the Sacramento defensive third of the field and pulled up quick and early, and really was kind of a wasted opportunity.
A foul on San Antonio.
But probably a conscious measurement there for Maxi Rodriguez. Do I continue to exert myself going forward when I'm the only attacking player?
Elliot Horde is coming out. Christian Isley is coming in. So you have now got Isley, Owasa, Bijev, Matiasic all in the match right now. The final 11 minutes trying to pull level with San Antonio FC here at Toyota Field.
Sacramento justifiably so, not overly concerned with defending at this point in time. They're down a goal. Even being down a goal, they haven't given up anything really significant here in the last 40 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it's been.
Free service here in for Matiasic again. Chip to the back post. Restrepo off his hand. Another corner. 14th coming up for Sacramento tonight. San Antonio FC back to their bench. Kyle Murphy getting ready to come on. Has not played since his first match with San Antonio FC. That was down in Rio Grande Valley. He will take out Ethan Bryant, who's responsible for setting up Cesar Elizondo. Cyprian Hedrick has had one heck of a night here, Lance. Let's take a look at some of the work he's put in.
You just see him, he's constantly moving his feet and staying in between Sacramento attacking players and his own goal. And really just putting his entire body, his entire being out there to stop Sacramento scoring tonight. He's been a big reason why they've been able to keep a clean sheet thus far.
So 14 corners for Sacramento. Matiasic has probably taken about 11 of them. Going to give Bijev an opportunity now here. The right corner stick is Brian getting congratulations as he makes his way back to the bench. Right-footed in-swinger. Good ball in, headed out. And another corner coming up.
When you think about Ethan Bryant getting his first start here tonight, jumping on that loose ball, and Omar Gordon broke up, and being able to play a nicely weighted service in for the assist. His first appearance just a couple of weeks ago, earning the penalty in that match. Great to see the young man coming out of the academy ranks and having success here at the top level.
Deep ball by Bijev this time. Taken down, isolate, puts it across the face of goal, and it's got to be headed away at the last moment. Bijev gives it a strike. Oh, he's almost got nothing left there.
Between him and Hedrick, they both exerted so much here on the same side of the field here all night long. That was a fatigued decision there from Bijev.
San Antonio FC trying to hang on, trying to see this result through for the last 8 minutes or so. Moffitt returning it back. Tainer. Bahal, it'll come back to Josh Cohen. Out wide is Espino, not a great ball, but it's pushed forward here by Sacramento before San Antonio FC will defend it upfield. Schmidt now out wide on the left side for Sacramento, pushing forward. With ease through the midfield here, Schmidt continues his run, drives it into the box. Cleared away by Felix. Yet another corner for Sacramento, their 16th of the evening. Bijev plays short, Matiasic whips it in to the back post, trying to get underneath it. There's Tainer, and he can't run it down. I don't think Sacramento and Simon Elliott ever thought that they would exert this much energy in a 45-minute segment of soccer here tonight.
Well, you know, they're definitely exerting, but the pace is really being played at their comfort speed, at their comfort zone. Lots of diagonal balls, lots of time on the ball. They're not really being hurried into a lot of decisions, even in and around the edge of the 18-yard box, inside the 18-yard box. Not under a tremendous amount of pressure that's being sustained. They're being able to play through and around the initial pressure from SAFC and then finding that second layer of space. So they do appear to be exerting themselves going forward, but the real exertion is coming from San Antonio because they're constantly in recovery mode.
Matiasic to the back post, brought down, trying to deliver it on frame, and it's snuck aside again. Who else? Cyprian Hedrick right in front of Diego Restrepo. Hedrick's down inside the box again. Cyprian Hedrick will certainly earn the respect of everyone at Toyota Field tonight, the effort that he has put forth in this game.
And that's what Darren Powell was saying about him coming into the match. He's been working very hard. He shows up, he puts in an honest day's work, and we're getting that from him tonight. And as I said, at least once, if I've said it once, I've said it 10 times tonight. The level of exertion and commitment to defending and keeping that clean sheet from him alone has been fantastic.
Diego Restrepo's had quite a fine night himself this evening too.
That's a great reaction save there with his right hand. Another great save there. You see him be very well balanced as Diego Restrepo.
Bijev spins out here to Lopez. Bijev to the back post, another big stop by Restrepo. Add that one to the highlight reel in the 86th minute. An MVP-like effort for the reigning keeper of the year, Diego Restrepo. 17th corner played short here, coming through into the box. Bijev back on the ball. Bijev with A chance that's blocked aside. This will be a throw in here for Republic. Waning minutes of the match. San Antonio FC trying to hang on for would be a remarkable victory here tonight. Schmidt with a deep throw in. Brought down Connor Presley. Concedes to Bijev. Bijev holding. Drops it back out top and a chance there. From Mariasic again blocked outside. Isley will get over to chase it. Actually let it ride out for yet another corner. Mariasic will quickly come over.
Looking at about 3.5 minutes here of the 90, but sure to have quite a few extra.
Mariasic, good ball in. Across the face, a goal. Tainer goes up top, but he puts it wide.
Ball here really just going to kind of drop on top of Tainer. Not able to get anything on it to redirect it. A little nudge from substitute Ryan Rashandel there to just put him off enough.
Jeremy Hall. Espino out wide. With Shannon Gomez. Here's Espino. Pushing forward on Cochran. Espino cutting to the byline, tries to send across through, defended, back out. San Antonio FC sending it forward. Drop down, Schmidt can't get to it, Presley takes it away. Numbers forward for San Antonio's Connor Presley. Pushing into the area, Presley gives it a go, wide of goal.
Again, against the run of play, San Antonio finding a way to generate a decent chance. Kyle Murphy that time making a run here on the right-hand side. Connor Presley didn't see him. Probably not a bad decision there from Connor Presley. Just ran out of that extra little bit of pace to get himself into the box. But only a couple of bright moments really in the attack for San Antonio tonight.
And yet the home side is up 1-0 here as we've almost hit 90 minutes tonight. Collision back in the San Antonio FC third of the field. We play on an advantage throw in here for San Antonio. Lopez will be a little deliberate here as he plays over to Kyle Murphy. Murphy keeping this ball in play. Tussle there. The touchline will come back free. Presley. Presley gets through the crowd. Presley brought down, edge of the box. Play on. Quickly sent forward by Republic. Isley can't get underneath it. Cyprian Hedrick skies it forward. Tainer will bring it down. Good composure from Tainer. Gets it over to Adam Moffat. Isley will, or rather Bijev keeps it alive.
Moments of urgency here from Sacramento.
Republic, do they have one last push here? Mariasic! And this one taken a little bit easier on the pitch this time by Diego Restrepo.
Mariasic not really able to get enough on that to really challenge Restrepo. Ball came in pretty quick.
Justin Schmidt. Jeremy Hall.
Jeremy Hall just having all day long. Every time he picks up the ball, there's no one within 25 yards of him, it seems.
Back out to their favorite left flank. Adam Moffat and Bijev now. Overloading here. Bijev against Mikey Lopez. Bijev on goal and a save again, Restrepo.
Better positioning there from Restrepo than what we saw in the first half when Bijev just missed wide on this near post.
You see 5 minutes added time. Sacramento again wins the ball away off an Errant ball there for Mikey Lopez. Espino, the cross defended. San Antonio will send it out. Kyle Murphy can't make the clean touch. Cohen back out to Gomez.
Haven't had many moments, San Antonio, tonight where they've been able to receive the ball with a little bit of time and space. And that time Kyle Murphy getting one of those few moments and just not able to keep it at a time in the match where that's what you really need. You really need your target to be able to get hold of the ball and just keep possession. Allow the rest of you guys to get out.
Gomez will earn Sacramento's 19th corner of the match. 19-1 are the corners tonight, unofficially.
Gomez continuing to be so dangerous, coming down those wide channels. Again, not being required to have to chase anything back in his own defensive third.
Matiasic, good ball in, comes across the face of goal, but it's defended out by San Antonio FC. A throw in here for Sacramento. Tainer comes over. Schmidt with a ball in through. Dangerously comes out here. Dropped down into Espino, and he couldn't get it through. San Antonio FC will just push it forward back into Sacramento's half of the field. An errant ball there from Jeremy Hall, but Josh Cohen anticipating, drives this one quickly forward. Moffitt gets underneath it, whips it into the box, headed out. And a foul on San Antonio FC out wide, nearby the corner stick.
Get a caution as well.
Escalante and Moffitt. Escalante goes down.
Moffitt not impressed.
Well, the initial caution's going up on Escalante.
My guess is if it's handled correctly, that would be the only caution issued.
Moffitt taken out there underneath by Escalante after the ball was whipped in.
And nothing in the follow-up there from Moffitt. Escalante really doing everything he can, trying to get across, much as we've seen Cyprian Hedrick do inside the box this entire second half. He's just trying to get across and stop that service into the box. He recognizes how dangerous that is. Just arriving a little bit late there against Moffitt.
Got a smile out of Darren Powell.
Listen, if you're Darren Powell, you'll be smiling for the next week if you get out of this match with a 1-0 result.
Matiasic here, the free service in. Defended, back out top, Espino, and that's headed off of Rochandle. Perhaps saving a goal for San Antonio FC on that bid by Luis Espino.
Listen, by the looks of it, they could play till 5 o'clock in the morning, and I don't know that Sacramento would be able to find a way through. They just can't seem to break the seal. Excellent commitment.
Moffitt defended out there by San Antonio.
Excellent commitment defensively from San Antonio tonight, just recognizing the game is what it is. You're not going to carry the rhythm. You're not going to carry the possession. Defend your heart out and do everything you can to keep them from scoring. And in the end, that's looks like the result they're going to get. But not before another corner.
21 unofficially. Matiasic back over to the right corner stick. Got to figure maybe another minute of added time after the theatrics between Moffitt and Escalante a moment ago. Matiasic again delivers this one in. Drops down here. It'll come right to Kyle Murphy, though, and he's able to clear it away. San Antonio FC will steer this one out again from danger. Another throw in for Sacramento. It's Lopez down on the pitch. Espino. Sacramento in possession of the attack right now. Espino switch the play over to Bijev.
Why not?
Bijev, one last try. Bijev sending that nearly out of the stadium.
I think that's only one of maybe 2 errant touches he's had on the night. Bijev, he's been very, very good on the ball.
He must have in double-digit shot attempts tonight.
He might do.
And Lopez is down. He'll bring out the training staff here for San Antonio FC. That'll just add on a little more time here. San Antonio FC trying to just get out of here, take their 3 points, and go get some ice.
It's really taken quite a remarkable defensive effort from San Antonio tonight.
And if San Antonio FC does hold on here, it'll be their second straight win in league play. Their 5th victory of the season would pull them even with St. Louis for the 8th and final playoff spot in the USL Western Conference table. St. Louis was losing earlier tonight against Real Monarchs SLC.
That one, I think, in the 6th minute of additional time there. Real Monarchs still up 1-0.
Lopez to a knee here. Simon Elliott will look at the film from tonight's game and say, we did everything right but finish.
Yeah, they really have done a very, very nice job tonight of executing their plan to keep the ball, change the point of the attack, create 1-versus-1 situations in those final 25 yards, get service into the box, get numbers into the box. They just haven't been able to penetrate the face of goal.
And it has also taken some impressive efforts from Diego Restrepo as well when they have gotten through those momentary times. Lopez making his way off the field. We're 3 minutes beyond, as you can see, the allotted 5 of extra time. I got to imagine we're in the waning seconds here. And Diego Restrepo will keep us here a little longer before finally sending this forward. Is there a last gasp for Republic? Tainer. Upfield. Restrepo not taking any chances, coming out. San Antonio FC survives. 1-0 victory tonight over Sacramento Republic FC on Cesar Elizondo's goal in the 43rd minute of the match. And that man, Diego Restrepo, helped preserve it along with his defense and Cyprian Hendrick and frankly everybody out on the pitch tonight in the black kit did what they could do to keep this clean sheet for Diego Restrepo, his 16th all-time San Antonio FC history.
Yeah, listen, we've said it all night long. Sacramento have done a fantastic job coming in here on the road and executing their plan very, very well. They're a good team in possession. They're very, very dangerous going forward. Have some fantastic individual players that can create and can score. And San Antonio was in for it tonight, and they just had to concede at some point, just concede the fact that they weren't going to own possession. They weren't going to dictate the rhythm of the game, and they were going to have to just buckle down and try to do everything they could to keep it clean, and that's exactly what they did. Really kudos to both sides here. Sacramento the better team, but ultimately didn't matter tonight. San Antonio got the 3 points.
5 wins now in the season for San Antonio, 20 points as they move their way into the top 8 of the Western Conference table. Partner, enjoy the World Cup. We'll see you next Saturday night.
Happy Father's Day.
You too. Your club season continues next Saturday right back at home to take on Reno. 1868 kickoffs at 7:30. You can watch all the action live right here on Fox Sports Southwest. Now, for Anya Rosales and Lansky and our entire Fox Sports Southwest crew, I'm Dan Weiss. Thanking you for joining us tonight. final from Toyota Field. San Antonio FC 1, Sacramento Republic 0. This has been a presentation of the USL and Spurs Sports and Entertainment. So long, everybody.